Hello and welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to take a look at expanding brackets, or you may also hear this referred to as multiplying out brackets, but they mean exactly the same thing. So I've got 4 examples that I'm going to go through with you, just to go through the process of how to do this, and then I'm going to give you some questions to have a go at yourself. So the key to this is that we take whatever we've got outside our brackets and we multiply that by every term inside our brackets. So we're going to first of all do the 2 times the h, and then secondly we're going to do the 2 times the negative 4. So let's do that. So we've got 2 times h, or 2 times h is 2h, and then we're going to do 2 times 4, or sorry, 2 times negative 4, need to be careful, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So that is my answer, 2h minus 8. So let's do the second one. So this time we're going to take 5 and we're going to multiply it by the 2x. That's my first term. And then we're going to multiply it by the positive 7. So we're going to do 5 times 2x. Well, that will give us 10x. And then the second one, we're going to do 5 times positive 7, which is positive 35. So my answer is 10x plus 35. Okay, the next one is a bit trickier because we've got 2 variables now. So we're going to take the a and we're going to first of all multiply it by the other a. And then secondly, we're going to multiply it by the negative 8. So a times a, well, that will give us a squared. So be really careful. It's not 2a, it's a squared. And then secondly, we're going to take 8 and then multiply it by negative 8. Well, that will be negative 8a. So we've got a squared minus 8a. And then finally, we've got a negative 2 outside our brackets. So first of all, we're going to multiply it by 12. And then secondly, we're going to multiply it by negative g. So what is negative 2 times 12? Well, that will be negative 24. And then secondly, be really careful with this because we've got negative 2 and we're multiplying it by negative g. So when we're multiplying 2 negative numbers together, well, that will turn it into a positive. So it's going to be positive 2g. Now this last one, you could write it as negative 24 plus 2g, or you could just swap them around and you could just say 2g minus 24. Okay, the order doesn't matter. So either of these, if you wrote either of these down, you would be correct. Okay, I've got 8 questions for you to have a go at. So pause the video and see if you can expand these brackets. And just to remind you, whatever we've got outside our brackets, we multiply that by each term inside our brackets. Okay, I'm assuming you've paused the video and had a go. So let's go through this together now. So the first one, first of all, we're going to multiply the 4 by the y. And then secondly, we're going to multiply the 4 by the positive 2. So always include that sign in front of the term. Okay, so let's make sure we color code this. So 4 times y, well, that will be 4y. And then secondly, we've got 4 times positive 2, which is positive 8. So 4y plus 8 is the answer for the first one. And then secondly, we're going to multiply the 3 by the 2y. And then we're going to multiply the 3 by the negative 1. So 3 times 2y, that will be 6y. And then 3 times negative 1, well, that's negative 3. Okay, the next one, I'm just going to circle my terms now. I'm just going to circle my terms so I know what I'm multiplying. So always include that sign in front of the term. So 6 times 3, well, that will give us 18. And then 6 times positive 8x, well, that'll be positive 48x. Okay, question number 4. So my first term is 2m and my second term is negative 3p. So we're going to do 4 times 2m, or that will be 8m. And then 4 times negative 3p, that will be negative 12p. So notice with the technique I'm using, I'm not worrying about whether I'm adding or subtracting one term from the other. All I'm doing is writing in the term with the sign in front of it. Okay, so that does eliminate a lot of silly mistakes where people get the signs mixed up. So let's carry on with question 5. The first term is x and the second term is positive 3. So we're going to do x times x, which is x squared, and then x times 3, which is positive 3x. Okay, question number 6. So our first term is 3y and our second term is positive 5. So we're going to do y times 3y. Well, that will be 3y squared. And then finally, y times positive 5, which is positive 5y. Okay, question number 7. So 6x times y, and then we're going to do 6x times negative 2. So the hardest thing about this is just switching between colours. So the first one, 6x times y, that's going to be 6xy. And then we're going to do 6x times negative 2, which is negative 12x. And finally, we've got lots of negative signs here, so be really careful. Our first term is negative e, and our second term is negative 1. So we're going to do negative 7 times negative e, and remember we've got two negatives, so that's going to be a positive, so it's just going to be 7e. And then again, we've got another two negatives. Negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7, so it's just 7e plus 7. So how did you get on with those 8 questions? Hopefully you did well, and hopefully this video helped with your understanding of expanding single brackets. In the next video, we're just going to take this a step further, and we're going to look at slightly longer expressions where we have to simplify our answers. So hopefully you'll join me for that video, and thanks again for watching. Take care.